Branch 2 is called Dancing with Discomfort. You know, it's not about who was right and who was wrong. It's about protecting each one's boundaries and respecting each other. A lot of times we punish the other person and we say things we don't mean. They say things they don't mean. And we end up in a deadlock of a situation where each person wants to be right. And how do we deal with that? Each one of us lives differently. And each one of us has different stories in our minds depending on how we've lived them, based on many things, as we know. The key is, what is the way to be understood precisely and accurately? How can we find a way that people understand exactly what we mean and what we think? The game of he said, she said distorts things so fast, and we get blamed for things just because it's taken out of context. And that happens so often. So the key is, how can we feel understood simply? Are we actually acting the way we believe is true, or are we protecting ourselves with our ego, with a framework that doesn't suit us, and getting the wrong response because we're doing that? If I say what I mean and I mean what I say, I will be understood simply. If I'm angry, it's better that I don't say anything until I've calmed down and I'm able to look at it objectively. It's really always about keeping that cognitive eye up in order to see it from a position of the top of the mountain, to say, looking at the bottom of the mountain, what do I want? Am I behaving the way that actually brings me what I want? And I know that the answer is often no. Because sitting at the top of the mountain, I want everything to be peaceful and joyful, but what am I doing? I'm kicking up a fuss and creating nonsense. Why am I doing that? Because I want to punish the other person for hurting me. Now, did the other person hurt me, or did I hurt myself because how I responded to that person? Did the other person really hurt me, or did I hear their words badly? Did I misinterpret? Did I trigger them? Every situation has many imprints. And what we know is ours. Let's step out of the context of situations and look at it objectively. Start with, what is it that I want? What do I want to achieve? What is my goal? Am I angry and therefore I want to let a situation go even though there's love in my heart? Or am I happy to let it go because I know it's for my highest and best? The key is the highest and best. Every perspective has to be one of worthiness and looking at it from a frame of mind of what is the best outcome for all. Am I willing to discern what I am willing to accept and what is non-negotiable? Are you able to make a list and say, well, these are the things that I hold as my highest values. If the other person can accept these, then everything is fine. If it's going against my values, then I have to ask the person and say, well, these are the things that have broken down. Are you willing to take these upon yourself to try and amend them? It's a battle of stages, and I think we have to go through the different stages in order to find truths. Are you willing? Or are you going to hold tight and say, no, I'm right and I want to be right? It's worth a think. Clarifying truths is more important than who was right and who was wrong. As I said, the he said, she said doesn't help us. And if you want to stay in a drama within yourself to say, well, I was so treated badly, rather than saying, let's clarify what's true. People communicate badly, but they have the best of intentions. People who communicate super well may have bad intentions. We don't know. The key is that you can never see a person's intent. We can never see a person's intention. If our intuition is clear, we can feel things, but we don't know for sure. So are you able to allow the benefit of the doubt and give a person some space to perhaps deem that you were wrong in your judgments and to see them from a different eye? If you loved the person at one point, if they were your best friend or they were your spouse or your parent or your sibling, and today you see them differently, are you able to give them back the eye that you had on them before, while forgiving them for whatever's happened, knowing that you are partly responsible? It's a worthy journey to do. And I hope that you will take the time to say, you know what, it's okay, I can do this. I am able to for the highest and best of everyone involved.